yours. My HBCU better be yours. My HBCU better be yours. Where you from? From the north. Where you from? From the south. Where you from? From the east. Where you from? From the west. My HBCU better be yours. My HBCU better be yours. Hey everybody, what is really happening? Listen, it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, and welcome. It's your boy, it's your uncle, it's your cousin, it's your best friend, and you turn to the HBCU Man Cave, where men can relate, relax, and release. Again, as always, I'm your host with the most, A. Harris Brown, and I am here as always. I got both of my buddies here. I got my Man Cave inhabitants for today. I got Kevin Keys the third and Shane Kane. And listen, excited to be here. And we are here to dive into another topic tonight that's real to all of us. And let me set this up real quick before we introduce today's guest. So this week's topic is men and body image, confronting physical and mental health pressures. Now, we all know that body image doesn't just affect women. Men face their own pressures and expectations about appearance, fitness, and mental well-being, often without the same support or understanding. We don't get the same love as the women get, okay? I'm just saying right now. Now, body image issues for men can impact self-esteem, mental health, and even relationships. Tonight, we're going to break down some of the myths, discuss how social expectations, social media, and personal goals shape our lives, our perspective in our lives. Now, today's guest, fellas, let me tell you about today's guest. He's no stranger to the Man Cave. Ba, 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 ba. Listen, we got Daniel Bryant. Again, he's the founder of Me, Motivated and Empowered, a platform focused on uplifting and empowering others by their best selves, physically and mentally. Now, Daniel is an advocate for men's mental health and well-being, and he shares the journey openly through social media and public speaking. He's here to help us unpack this important topic and share his insights on managing body image expectations as a man. And then also, you know, he's a North Carolina A&T graduate, just got back recently from G-Ho. So I'm surprised he's still living and breathing right now. And he's able to listen. You better ask him what's in his cup. But as a matter of fact, don't ask him what's in his cup. How about that?
Water.
Yeah. Now, also, you can find him spreading love and motivation and inspiration on Instagram and on YouTube, and he's the real deal. And we're lucky to have him here tonight. Fellas, what's going on, everybody?
What's good? What's good, man? We are having a big discussion.
Listen, Shane, first of all, shout out to you for, listen, we can see you in a couple weeks because you was out playing with the hurricane.
Hey, I got a video posted on IG with the hurricane, so go check that out. It was
okay.
Cool. I lived through 13 of them, so I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then last week your son had gotten sick or injured.
Yeah.
You had to go take care of him.
Yeah, I had to go rush him to the hospital, so he's good. He's good.
Okay. So all is well? Everything's
all
good.
Is well. I'm here. All is well. Let's go, baby.
All right. Kevin, let me do a quick check-in. How you doing, brother?
Exhausted.
Okay, how's the campaign trail? Even I'm ahead of the game, but how's the campaign trail?
The campaign trail is amazing. It's crazy. 8 days into the election, so it's like
I'll be so glad when it's over.
I am. Me too. Currently we still doing this. My HBCU votes. Road to Election. 5-part series. Tomorrow we're gonna be in Detroit. Special episode because it's my hometown, and then being the educators. Still as difficult as it was last week.
All right, so we ain't gonna hold you too long tonight. I know you always got to go back and you got to get into that lab of yours, and so you can create those amazing lesson plans for your scholars for tomorrow. But we're gonna have a great time tonight. Daniel, what's going on, brother?
Going good. Everything is up from here, so I'm thankful to be on tonight. We're gonna have a great conversation.
Okay, so you staying hydrated. I see you got your water bottle. You're staying hydrated.
Yeah, it's water in here. I know it's clear, but it's water in here.
I don't
I don't
trust.
know
I
what you're
don't
talking
trust
about.
nothing in water bottles, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. My water bottle empty. I ain't gonna hold you. My water bottle empty. I need to refill it back up.
We also need to fill it up.
All right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, again, shout out to everybody who's watching us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Shout out to all of our replayers to the Man Cave. So whether you're watching us live right now or you are watching us on the replay, thank you so very much. For all of our live viewers right now, make sure you leave a comment in the chat. As always, let us know where you are watching from, what city, what state, and what HBCU you represent. Now, like I told Kevin earlier, Kevin is going to be responsible for letting us know some of the comments and questions and things in the chat because I don't have my iPad today. So Kevin's going to do his guest host duties today. And he's going to keep us abreast of what's happening in the chat. Because y'all been having some serious conversations amongst yourselves in the chat.
That's real.
Y'all been having a great time, and I love it. And for those who are on Facebook or YouTube, we'll be able to put your comments on the screen somewhere. So again, thanks everybody for watching. And let's see what else. Any other housekeeping rules? We're gonna tell you about the newsletter in a little bit. We're gonna drop that link to the newsletter today.
Yep.
Ooh, yes. All right. So anyway, let me go back and talk about today's topic: men and body image, confronting physical and mental health pressures. Now, this is the heavy one. Now, men are often expected to look strong and fit, but those pressures come with its own mental and physical challenges. Research shows that over 30% of men experience body dissatisfaction or sometimes put themselves through some type of psychological situation called body dysmorphia. Hmm. Often leading to self esteem issues, depression, or even eating disorder. And this comes from a source called Peace and Harmony LLC. Now, social media plays a huge role here. I was talking to a mental health therapist yesterday about this topic. He said, yes, social media does have a huge role with constant exposure to ideal bodies that can distort our perceptions of what a healthy, normal lifestyle can be. And that comes from a source called Better Health. So tonight, we're breaking down how these pressures affect men, and more importantly, how these pressures have even affected us, the four of us on this screen tonight, and how men live and how we are discussing ways to foster a healthier mindset around our bodies and mental well-being. So let's bring it in, let's chop it up and see where this conversation takes us. All right, fellas, y'all ready for this?
Ooh, let's go. Let's go.
Now, again, I'm gonna be first, I'm gonna be transparent. I have dealt with a psychological issue of this whole idea of body image. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you all right now. You all don't, you all haven't met me prior to, we've only met virtually, right? But if I had the time to pull up a picture, I would love to be able to show you that at one point in time, I used to be 450 pounds. And today I sit before you at about 200. But in my mind, I still see the 450-pound Anthony. It's a psychological thing and it's all up here in my head, and I struggle with thinking that, oh my gosh, if I touch a piece of bread, if I eat a cookie, if I do the wrong thing, I'm going to just like almost like Professor Clump from Eddie Murphy, the clumps, I feel like if I touch that piece of bread, I'm gonna blow up. That's just my reality where I get to tripping. I freak out. So, and I'll talk more about that later. But so let me first, I'm gonna go with you, Kevin. Let's start with you. Have you ever felt pressure to look a certain way? And where do you think this pressure comes from?
Well, thank you for that question. I would say I don't think that I've felt too much pressure. I think I've learned at a young age because when I was younger, when I was on the step team, the coach would constantly say oh, you're fat. Kevin's fat. Kevin's fat. I was short and chubby, so he made fun of it every chance he get. And at first, I guess he thought it was a joke. The whole time, I mean, it kind of did like really like stick with me. But then when I got older, I got taller and lost a lot of weight, and then I kind of just stopped caring what anybody thought of me because it was like that was wrong, and I knew that he shouldn't have been a grown man telling a kid like that they were fat. But yeah, so I stopped dealing with the pressures of what everybody thought that my body should look like, and just care more about how I look like instead
Okay.
of what everybody else. So yeah.
Has anybody else felt any kind of pressure to look a certain way? Has anything ever happened? You were younger than college, even as an adult now. Has that impacted you any kind of way?
For me, I was born in the islands, grew up in the islands, so I was short, skinny, and for some reason, playing sports, you weren't kind of accepted, right? So people kind of like say a lot of stuff that will discourage me. Oh, you need to get bigger. Oh, you need to eat some more. Um, you need to maybe work out. And for some reason, it had an effect on me. But after growing and doing a lot of reading, doing a lot of research, because I love doing research, um, mentally I was okay with myself. Now I'm up there. I feel good about my body. I work out. I play sports, all that stuff. So, and of course I'm in the military. So, working out is a must. So, you know, I
Okay.
think I think um, one of my coach had a therapeutic intervention, so a cognitive behavior therapy type of session, kind of gave me the courage to like go ahead and have an underlying self-esteem thing about myself and say, hey, you're good enough to be you. You're good enough to do whatever you need to do. Don't pay attention to your body.
Okay. All right. Daniel, what about you? Have you ever felt any kind of pressure?
Yeah, I would harken back to one of my experiences in high
Come
school when I
on,
was playing.
harken back. Let's go. Let's do it.
I'm gonna go back to high school when I used to play football, and I remember my sophomore year there was we were in workouts, and I had struggled to finish one of the workouts, and for me, I think one thing when we're talking about body image is learning, what response do we accept? Not everybody is okay with the rigor and the pressuring, saying you got to do this, you got to do this. Some people need refreshing instead of rigor. And for me, I needed the rigor. I needed someone to call me out. Um, but I did feel myself comparing to other people that were within the workout. Like, dang, why can I finish the set that we're on? Why can I do this? And I remember I actually stormed out and I was pissed off. I was more mad at myself, and I think that was rooted in the comparison theory that I started to have with myself. And then I began to really focus in instead of other people. Okay, Daniel, let's unlock what's inside of you. How can we get the most out of you? And from that point on, it just changed. My whole mentality changed. I started attacking the weights at a different mindset, and it definitely helped me in my strength journey. And I'm gonna talk about a little bit later about how I was able to pay it back in college to other people that were trying to get stronger and get into working out and stuff. But that was
Wow.
kind of my story.
Okay. Well, studies have shown through a particular website called healthline.com. Studies show that 43% of men feel societal expectations to achieve a certain physique, with media and peer pressure being top influences. Again, now mind you, this media thing was not a big to do when I was in high school because, again, as some of you all like to call me the uncle of the show, we didn't have those kind of things back then. Yeah, we still had the Stone Ages and we were living in caves. But you all had all this influence from potentially social media and things of that nature to kind of figure like, okay, so just want to let you all know that. I just want to share. So Kevin, you got a comment that somebody says I'm on Instagram. On Instagram.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Miss Mo ABCU Inc. said, "Hey," she said, "Right, you don't ask that you don't know the answer." She said, "After homecoming, there's no lesson plans." I felt that. She's from River Forest University. Uh, Thick Lynn says she's South Florida. God bless you, gentlemen. Rhythm Blue said Central State University. Uncle Keith said, "Happy Sunday, my beloved brothers and nephews. It's going down. Happy homecoming weekend to Savannah State." Um, Trey XV said, "Y'all saw that Commanders game? No, I didn't, but I did see the Lions win that game."
Ah!
I saw the ending of that
Uncle,
game.
that was a blowout. But Uncle Keith said, "Wow, thanks for sharing and being transparent. I feel you on the weight, which is a mental and emotional weight. It's whatever media said. This is good." And Uncle Keith also said, "Absolutely. There are so many stereotypes, especially for black men. Oftentimes, tall, large black men are seen as physically threatening in society." Yes, that is a whole nother thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
tall and the
Hold that
stereotypes
thought,
of
then.
a
Hold
black.
that
Ooh,
thought. I
woo.
Keith and I about the same age, so I can't call Uncle Keith. I can't call Keith Uncle because me and him about the same age. So that's my brother. Hey, man, yeah. But brother Keith, hold that thought because you meant to come back on the chat and talk about that. But so my next question, I'm going to go to Daniel. With your work through your organization, Motivated and Empowered, what do you believe are some common misconceptions about men and body image?
Well, we definitely just brought up one, and I know we're gonna go back to it about that. You know, if you're a larger, you seem more threatening, or that you're gonna, harm someone. So that is definitely a big misconception that comes with size. And then another thing that I think is how we think of strength, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you're not that macho man, the person that can throw up 315 on the bench press and you can squat 500, then you're not, it tests your or it threatens your masculinity. And I think that's something that is dangerous when we talk about the perception that we have of others and how we throw our perception on other people. And that misconception kind of it targets and it hurts people because now people think that if I'm not like this, if I don't have the physique like the person that I've seen on Instagram, if I don't have, if I go to the gym and I'm not throwing up the same amount of weight, or I'm not doing the workouts, I don't have the abs or whatever it might be for that person, then we begin to have that comparison theory, and that's so harmful for people because we're never able to live out who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the hardest things that social media is a blessing, but it's also a curse because we're constantly in comparisons. Every single time we open it, we see something that we like. Oh, I want to be like that. I want to have that job. I want to have that degree. I want to have that physique. Wow, she looks amazing. Why can I look like that? And it's just and it robs the blessing of who we are personally. And so I just think that the biggest misconception is how men are tested, or there are how they're tested with their masculinity based on their physique, and then also how they cope with it or how they respond, right? Because now if you respond in a manner of, well, I don't gotta, I don't have to be like that, or maybe I don't want to be like that person, then people come threatening back to you, saying, oh, you're weak minded, you don't want good for yourself. Is that, oh, you always have to be 100% alpha, you got to be that alpha mentality, 100% of the time. And your response can oftentimes get targeted and diminished when you don't have the response that I guess the majority wants you to have when it comes to working on your physique. So I think those are two common misconceptions.
Those are some very good comments. And
Mhm.
actually, people often overlook that body image concerns affect men just as much as they affect women. Listen, we y'all know sometimes in our head we be tripping. They'll be like, wait a minute, hold on. Just the mere look of, because I think part of it was, my man, was, when you look in the magazines, you look in the Ebony or the Jet. I'm dating myself a little bit. They're given this perception of this is what the man is supposed to look like, right? Because I
Right.
never saw anybody who looked. I never saw anybody in the magazine ads who was 450 pounds. I never saw anybody who looked like me,
You're right.
and that was a hard thing to struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
And those issues are sometimes often minimized or ignored. So, but shout out because because I do see some people, some organizations, some businesses, some advertisers, even television now are starting to put other people to represent a more diverse community.
Yep.
And
No, but then sometimes they be trying to be funny with it though. So like that's a whole nother thing. Because then they sit there and put a fat person on TV and then try to be funny with it, where fat person gotta be the obnoxious, loud, like no one likes her best friend sidekick that nobody looking at, that's always mad and hating on somebody. Like it's a way that they love to portray like certain body weights and all that. So even though they starting to show more of it on media, they also try to be funny a lot and think that it's a oh let's crack this as a joke and things like that. So that's a
mm,
whole
And it
different conversation.
and it does screw with you mentally because you
Hmm.
sitting watching the TV like, okay, well, they got somebody who is of a bigger size doing modeling and all that stuff. Okay, but then the whole concept of the commercial is making them look bad in our
Hmm.
perspective. And why would you put that person? Why would you, because in turns you're body shaming the person. Oh yeah, take this or use that. God darn well no. Half of the stuff y'all want us to put in our body ain't made to go in our body to lose no weight.
see that part. So,
Me.
Sean, since you went there, since you started talking, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Talk about because again, I'm from the Stone Ages a little bit. So for you, I'm just going to just say, so has social media in any way influenced your perception? I'm gonna say social media or just media
Hmm.
influence your perception with your own body or appearance.
Of course. I'm gonna give you an example.
Okay.
2018, I got into some riffraffs, right? Um, got out of that, and the only way I could have seen myself, kind of getting out of it was to do a little modeling. I was signed up, doing some modeling, doing all this, um, and it came to my mind. And I'm gonna say this: constant exposure to images of the ideal bodies like filtered photos and fitness influence can lead to a comparison that create unrealistic expectations,
Come on.
right?
Mm.
This influence can sometimes lower your self-esteem, or dissatisfaction adds people will feel pressure to meet unexpected or unattainable standards within themselves. But however, social media can also positively influence the perception, right? So for me, my only way of expressing was to do a little modeling, have different color clothes, just hey, I'm gonna just go ahead and just do my thing, right? But
Okay, that was a choice.
yeah, that was a choice, right? But in the same breath, you got to look at it. Social media presentation, you know, the masculine and the lean and all of that stuff create an unrealistic standard, and it contributes to men negatively, you know, in their body image and self-esteem. It creates a whole issue because guess what? If you in your day was 400 and something pounds and you opened a magazine and saw me 182 pounds, ripped, cut up, what would be your thing? You would be
I'm
like,
cutting the picture up.
exactly.
Because
I
in
mean,
most cases, whenever you modeling, they don't make it in my size. So
okay,
I was already upset and jealous because I couldn't buy what you buy.
exactly.
Oh, I was struggling with that. I had a big struggle. But now I ain't gonna hold you now. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna hold you. For health reasons,
Hmm.
really for major health reasons, I went on this drastic weight loss journey, which I'm still working on.
Right.
Proud to say that I'm in a place and space that those health issues are not issues anymore. But now me going to an H&M, an Old Navy,
You
uh,
good to go. But I have a question for you.
those short stores now real quick.
I have a question for you. So with everything you've gone through, do you think now, so did social media have any influence on you increasing your body positivity, You know, content, kind of promoting yourself, accepting, celebrating your diverse, because you have a whole diverse body type. Black, other ethnicities, you have a whole different body type, right?
Mhm.
So did any influence from social media had you to kind of shape yourself, or you just had the mindset of, hey, this is the goal, this is what I want to look like, this is what I want to be, and I'm gonna go head out?
I had to get past what social media was trying to show me because
Okay.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Because again, studies show that according to Helpline,
Mhm.
social media algorithms can intensify body dissatisfaction by constantly showing us images of idealized physiques, which are often unrealistic. So I had to get past what I was seeing to really, at first, my biggest was I had to love who I who I am.
Well, yeah, yep, there you go.
I had to love the 450-pound Anthony. I had to get to that place. Like I love who I am and where I am at this point. Now, I would love myself even more if I can get past some of these health issues, if
Mhm.
I can do something to change some things that I'm doing.
Right,
And that's where it really started. I had to love myself because I'm not saying I wasn't in love with myself, but I was having some struggles with that.
right.
Once I realized I had to look past the other images and like, but no, I may not ever look like that, but I can look like the best version of me I can
Well,
be.
I
And
love
to be
you.
honest with you, I am in a better place mentally and physically than I was even when I was in high school. I'm actually smaller now than I was in high school.
Mm.
I think another thing that we can throw out is the instant gratification part of social media, where we only get to see people's end result, or okay, this is where I look now, but we often lose sight of the whole journey, right? When we talk
Process.
about like weight loss and changing your physique, that is something that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen by a pill or something that you can is, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym for 7 days straight in the gym, and then 7 days of the week, and then I'm gonna be straight. Nah, like it's definitely a journey that can take up to months, and everybody's body responds different to whatever changes they're trying to make to their physique. So I think that's another thing, is breaking that link of thinking that everybody's the same physically, and if I put in the same work as X, I'm gonna get the same results as X, right? If I put in the same work as Y, I'm gonna get the same results as Y. We have to learn our body. As much as we want to love our body, we have to learn our body,
Come
right?
on.
How do we respond to certain things, right? Mentally, how do we respond to when people question our physique, or when people say things about us that doesn't make us feel good? How do we respond? Learning, okay, these are the things that I can eat that make me feel good, make me feel refreshed. Maybe these are the things I maybe need to cut out because I feel drained, right? Maybe it's bad habits, right? Maybe I need to cut down on the alcohol or on the cigars or whatever it may be in your life, right? Whatever you like. Maybe you have to, learn your body, learn who you are before you start trying to learn from everybody else. You're trying to pick up a book, you're trying to look at the TikTok workouts, you're trying to learn from everybody else. First, learn yourself, learn your body, how it works, how it responds, and then you can kind of go forth and making your plan, and then kind of cuts out that, instant gratification part.
Come on.
Yeah.
We don't blame it on, yeah, we ain't gonna blame it on alcohol. Well,
You got a little sip, you got a couple sips.
Just a few.
alcohol.
It's
Hey, shout out to somebody who just joined us in the comments talking about the excellent conversation. This is actually, oh my gosh, this is my best friend from high school. Oh my gosh, Kevin Allen. He knows my journey. So glad thank you for sharing that. Not just loving your body yourself, but learning yourself. You're really learning, what you can and can't do, and what you're able to maintain. So, Daniel, let me ask you another question. In what ways do you think, as whether you personally or maybe you with some of the people who you work with, how do you think body image and self-image are linked to men? How do these things really impact or link to us? Or,
I think for me personally, some people know my story about surviving a near fatal car accident in 2019. Car catching on fire. I'm trapped inside. I broke 13 bones. I was on life support for over 2 weeks. Um, and I have a lot of scars. And mainly, I have a scar that's right here on my face that's I got to live with for life. It's not going to move. It's not going to change. And I have scars all over my arms. Um, And living with this, I know it's not, physique, muscles or anything like that, but living with this part of my body was the toughest, especially it being my senior year of high school. And you know how high school can be and how people can say some nasty things. But that was so hard because I started to find myself diminishing my story, discouraging my story and what I've been through, and the miracle that had happened. And I started diminishing because I had scars and had things that made me look different from other people. And I think that's what kind of played with my self esteem. I started
Mm.
to think, well, girls ain't gonna like all these scars and stuff on my face and on my arms and stuff. So when it comes to looking for that special woman, how is that gonna work, right? How am I supposed to explain why I got all these scars on my arms and everything like that, right? And so those were the type of conversations I was playing in my head. Even if no one even said that to me, I had started already diminishing and discouraging myself to be able to have that conversation with the person, to be able to be confident to share my story. And it wasn't until I got to A&T my freshman year,
Come on.
and then and seeing all my brothers and my sisters and people start to come up to me and actually ask me, hey, what happened? I don't want to get into your business, but I want to know what happened. And then my mom, I remember this to this day, right? So she told me in the car, I think I was leaving the hospital. She had told me to, if anybody ever asks about your story, never allow them to leave your presence without knowing who you give the thanks to. And from that point on, that changed my life because now I started using my story and my scars as a conduit to be able to story tell and to be able to spread inspiration and encouragement. And so there's other people on this call, people that I've talked to on campus that may not have physical scars, but you might have mental scars of people saying that you're not good enough, you don't look good enough, ladies, you're not slim enough, or you don't have the behind, or whatever you may have heard. Men, oh, you don't have the abs, you don't have the muscles that we're looking for, you're not good enough. So you might have those mental and internal scars that cut deep and that may hurt you to the point where you diminish and you discourage the story and the journey that's ahead of you, so you can be able to share your journey and say, hey, I made it out from this, right? I went from this weight to this weight. I went from this way of being afraid to talk and share my story to now that I can speak on the stage and share my story. And so I want to tell everybody here, don't lose sight of diminishing and discouraging your story, because that journey can help other people. You never know how your miracle and how your journey can help encourage someone else through theirs. And so I just want everybody, let's continue to be conduits and connection for everybody else. So I think that's my biggest thing with self-esteem. So yeah,
Listen, because through your scar, there is a story.
come on
Mm-hmm.
now.
Whether it's physical or mental or whatever the case may be,
Emotional.
you got something that you can tell.
Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yours may be an outward appearance, but somebody else, it may be something inside. Something else is in their heart, is in their mind. But through your testimony and your life journey,
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, I can connect with that. I
Yeah.
understand that. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
my,
right here and breathe.
my tambourine. Dang. Dang
It's okay. You it washed away in a hurricane. You are
Ah! Hey, ladies and
good.
gentlemen, listen, we're not done yet. We are not done, but I just want to make sure, just in case anybody who is just now watching us or just now tuning in, and maybe somebody shared it, because again, I see my brother Keith already shared it on his Instagram page. We are today talking about men and body image, confronting physical and mental health pressures, and how you are navigating in this space, because as men, we go through it too. I mean, I don't want to tell about it because I ain't gonna hold you. There were times where I think I was even so much embarrassed or ashamed that I was not the one, because of my weight and the self the my, the societal pressure that I think I was putting on myself more so than anybody else. Was I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to get undressed in the locker room. I did not want to participate because I just was very self-conscious about taking my shirt off or just changing into some gym shorts, because I just felt like, no, I'm not doing it. But now I get it. And I think once I start to love myself, even at the 450, I don't even care. I don't even care now. But anyway, all right. So now, next question. So again, so if you're watching us on Facebook right now, hit that share button, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment. Thanks, Kevin. Kevin just said, what you go through is not for you, it's for somebody else. So sometimes what you're going through may be a lesson for somebody else to learn. And you're just that conduit. All right. So if you're watching us on Instagram, hit that share button at the bottom of your Instagram. Hit that arrow, that little paper airplane. Click that. Share that with somebody else. Stop playing. Right there, Kevin. You see him pointing to it. You see it right there. Hit the share button. All right. Invite another brother to the conversation, and again to our sisters who are watching. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. All right. All right. Let's see. To anybody, to any of the guys here, and anyone, not just anybody who's watching us right now. If you want to leave a comment, and we want to read your comments, we can. So again, do any of you all feel there are enough spaces where men can talk openly about
No.
women?
Oh, no. No.
It ain't enough spaces for men to talk about anything. No, the answer is no. But for
Yeah,
sure.
no.
Well, talk about it with who? You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Because I'm gonna throw this out there real quick. And this is cultural, right?
I didn't even get the question out good. He's like, no.
Nope, it ain't no spaces for men to do nothing.
All right.
Even though you said that, I believe personally, right? Cultural shifts, right? Encouraging diverse representation of male bodies in media can help normalize verified body types and reduce pressure on realistic, ideas and ideals. I feel like, just like you just said, the man can come together, be in the man cave, right? We can talk, we can relate, we can share experiences, we can help each other in that way. Now it's different if you see somebody, maybe you're at school and you see somebody, you felt the need to just talk to them or express to them. I just feel like that's a wrong move. You have to have some type of trust or connection to even let that out, because it can be used against you in certain ways. Yep.
Okay. Daniel, Kevin, anything else you want to add to that? Because Kevin was already like, no.
Because I'm just saying, okay, so check this. We barely even have space to even come together and talk about our mental health. Now we want to have a space that we're gonna talk about our body. Like they're gonna be like, this ain't Weight Watchers, or this ain't medical weight loss, or like, so they're not gonna really like. It ain't really no place that we can really talk, like, especially in the city. Do we need more? Yes, we need more. We need more spaces, and I wish there was, because there's so many people that when you break down why certain people gain so much weight or they lose so much weight, it's often a story behind it. It's often a story. It's often a reason. Sometimes people don't eat because of certain traumas or certain things is triggered, so they don't feel like they are skinny enough. Or some people, they overeat because of it's a coping mechanism and things of that nature. But it's like there's no, men don't like talking about that type of stuff. That, oh, this is what made me feel comfortable, or this what made me feel sane. Like, men are not having those conversations. So we have to be comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations, and that's gonna have to be the first step before we actively say we're gonna have a body positivity like man group. Like, how would you even word that for men to even want to feel like comfortable? That's another thing. The society has destroyed our perspective on what is okay to talk about and
Mhm.
what is not okay to talk about. So it's like, as much as we want to have that conversation, society has ruined it to the point where I'm not talking about my body to another man. That's what most the average man who has that toxic masculinity mindset would say. Like, so
Oh my
even though
gosh!
so
It's the
even
toxic masculinity. That's again the therapist I was talking to yesterday. He said the two biggest ones: social media and toxic masculinity are the issues.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And it's like, until we break that, it's like we would never get on a page where we can have this open and honest
Dialogue.
conversation. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
So then let
needed.
me go to Daniel and ask the question: what would a supportive space look like?
Mm.
A supportive place. So for me, I would think that it will consist of a couple things. First, it would consist of leaders understanding that the way that you articulate what you're trying to say matters, right? Not
Mm.
everybody's going to respond to you cussing them out, you screaming at them, you yelling them about, hey, you are not this and you're not that. Now, there's some people that like that and that can receive that and say, that's my motivation. But like I said earlier, there's some people instead of rigor, they need refreshing. They need someone to uplift them and to encourage them to push them forward. And so it takes leaders that are open-minded and are not so close-minded to the point where they think that the way that they carry out their message does not matter. I think that's the first thing that we have to lay down. I think another thing that is important is people that have went through a journey with their physique or with some type of um, with something with their body. It could be physical, emotional, whatever. We need those people that pay it back forward, to lean back. So people that are going through their struggles don't think that they're by themselves and that it has not been done before, right? Sometimes you get in an isolated instance when you're dealing with some type of trauma like that, right? It could be rooted in depression. It could be rooted in not thinking that you're good enough. It can be rooted in so many different things, but it begins to isolate us. So we have to make sure we cultivate an environment that makes people know that, hey, I've been through something like that. I'm a lean back and I'm gonna reach back and I'm gonna make sure that I pour back into the next one. That was one of the reasons why I became a strength coach when I was at A&T. I became a strength coach at our campus gym. So when I was a leader leading strength classes, I wanted to make sure I was that person to refresh people when I felt like I did not get it, when I felt like I didn't receive that love and that inspiration and encouragement when I was in my journey, I wanted to make sure I paid that back. So I think it takes good leadership and a good environment for all people and however their responses are.
So let's read this
I
comment
have a
again.
question. Mhm.
Before you go there, I want to read this comment from Kevin that's on the screen. It says, "We are taught as men to hold it in, suck it up, and be strong." Now, listen, I know Kevin's father. Yeah. Society doesn't allow men, especially black men, to
Well,
release their feelings. They want us to be soft and soft spoken. Real manhood is not accepted.
Mhm.
Okay, so now I
that's
have a
true.
question, and I have a question to this comment right here. So let's break it down. Yes, I fully agree. The
Hmm.
same name. You're very on target. Um, yeah, we are taught in society to hold it up, like hold it in. The men are not supposed to cry. We supposed to show strength. We are the natural protectors. We supposed to stand in front of a bullet if it gets to that point. Like all that. Society does not allow black men to release feelings. No, so we go around and we become these angry black men and really angry black women as well. Because if we show emotion, then we're wearing our heart on our sleeve, or we're being overly emotional, or we've been overly aggressive. Hold on, bring that question back because I got one more. I got one more response to it. But it said, "But real manhood is not accepted." So it brings me to this question: what is the definition of real manhood?
Hmm.
Because everybody's perspective and everybody's answer to what a man is supposed to be, I separated all of my guys and my girls in my class. And I talked to the guys, and I had my para. She talked to the girls. And the questions that I asked the guys was, and these are 8 and 9 year olds.
Uh
I
huh.
simply asked them, "What do y'all think a man means? Like to be a man, what do you think it means?" And everybody had different perspectives. Some told them it was if you play a lot of sports, or if you was strong, or if you were the strongest, or if you were the tallest, or if you were so. The definition of being a man and what being a manhood is different for everyone. And it's like we have to break this cycle that manhood looks one way,
Hmm.
because manhood can look a whole different way for everybody. Everybody is different. And a lot of people don't understand that just the way you act don't equal to your sexuality. But
That's
because
two
in
different
this
things.
this day and age, if you act a certain way, if you talk a certain way, you're not defined as a man. And now it's starting to like your sexuality is being questioned and things of that nature. So it's so much when we start to actually figure like ask the question of what is the true definition of manhood and what does it mean to be a man?
Kevin, that's a topic for another day. So we're going to put a pin right there. We're going to come back to that.
Mhm.
All
Hey,
right.
drop it next week. Drop it next week.
All right. So now, I do want to go back and say, because again, I think that having these spaces and places like the HBCU Man Cave or many other places you can go to, you can start to craft these kinds of conversations. Um, Kevin says, right, I can't type that fast. All right, so, but research does suggest that a lack of open spaces for men to discuss insecurities can contribute to isolation that Daniel just talked about. I swear y'all must have been in my notes when I was writing them today. It can contribute to isolation and stress. So, you know what? I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Because you know what? Because it's the man cave. And because it's the man cave, God dog it. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be because we're talking about body image and how that impacts you. Here's my question. How does body image affect other aspects of life, like relationships, career, and self-worth? And I'm gonna go even further. If you don't listen, this is me. I'm going on the limb because I've never done this before in my life. I don't even give a rat's ass. God damn it.
Hey.
Hey.
Because I'm proud of who I am and where I've come from. Damn it, I'm taking my shirt off. You rest the show like this. Yep, tattoo
Praise
love
him.
it.
That's real.
I love it. I love it. I
No,
love it.
how does now? No, Vernon and Kevin gonna call me after this, and Monique, little folks. But I'm just kidding. So listen. All right, here we go. And yes, that is an S on my chest because I wake up every morning thinking I can save the world.
Superman,
So
baby. Superman, baby. Yep.
Batman is because even in a dark world that we live in, there's still got to be some light, and there's representing the Superman and the Batman. Don't come for me unless you know me. All right, so here's the question, fellas. Again, how does body image affect other aspects of life, like relationships, your career, or your self worth?
It does have an impact. It does have an impact. Now, say this fine young lady coming up to you talking, everything is good. Everything is good. You speak good. You have an education, you have the job, you have the car, you have everything, right? We in the man cave, right? So I can
You
talk.
hear?
Okay. And that first night, now remind you may not have the abs or nothing, but that's what she thinks you got because you have everything else. And you go to bed that night, clothes off, and she said, "Ew, I don't want that D. I don't want that D."
You thought you about to go in there and start cooking.
Yeah, yeah.
Now she
You
in the
thought
group
to
chat talking
cook.
about you fat girl.
She coming in here like, I'm ready to cook. I'm ready to be on this thing right now, and see all that she's not looking for. No abs, nothing. Right there and then, as a man, you're gonna be like, "What the heck?" I think I was good. So it can definitely have an impact on, what I'm saying, sexual relationship.
Yeah.
Definitely an impact for sure.
Yep. Anybody else? Church got quiet on this one.
Okay, because wait, can somebody rewind the question? Because there's a lot going on here. I'm telling y'all, I am overly stimulated.
All right. So again, the question: how does body image affect other aspects of life, like relationships, career, or self worth?
Well,
Oh,
being in education, I will say that the bigger teachers get bullied because the kids be calling them big back, and
Big back,
like
big back.
yeah. So I will say the way that you are shaped in certain job fields, you are like basically like if you don't have that confidence in your body, you shouldn't be you shouldn't be a teacher. I'm gonna tell you that now. Um, it's other places like, for example, in certain jobs, white collar jobs, that's not about to hire, especially if you black. If you a black man and you big and black, they don't think that you qualified to do your job. Like even being,
Yeah.
first of all, it's other stereotypes like me being tall. Everybody just assumed I play basketball. I mean, it's just so much stuff. Like when you just when they people look at you, people got their own mindset of who you are. So sometimes that first reaction, that first interaction is what they think of you, like
I
without
think
even talking to you. But yeah,
I think in
I just put up a comment on my phone because Kevin he got caught up. He been trying to read the comments and everything else. So DJ Thomas 1914 on Instagram said, men need a safe place to discuss these issues. We are tasked with carrying weight that becomes a burden. And I'm going to
Mhm.
say that weight could be both mental and
And
physical
physical.
or
Yep.
psychological,
Emotional.
emotional.
Mhm.
Men are often unable to be vulnerable with their wives. Hashtag no safe place.
I
All
think
right.
another I think another thing when we were talking about like careers and like stuff like that, it was like job opportunities and positions within your career, especially in corporate life. Sometimes like for instance in sales when you're supposed to be put into like a position or in front of other people, sometimes if you are overweight, I know sometimes there is some stereotypes where you won't be allowed that opportunity to be put in front of um, other people or stakeholders and stuff of that nature. They look for a specific look, right? We talk about hair, that could be
Mhm.
another thing. Like
Body
that's a
type.
whole nother conversation again,
Yep.
you know,
Mhm.
but corporate life and those politics. But yeah, I think that's another thing.
It's so
come
funny
on,
you said
Crown
that
Act.
because you're qualified for the job. You're
Yeah.
good enough to make the presentations. You're good enough. But guess what? I got dreads. I can't go in. I can't go in front of the stakeholders. I'm not a certain body type, so I can't. I have to be this, petite, well knit, tie up, and here, neatly, tapered and everything. So you're right. It does have an. If I've seen it, I personally seen it. And it shouldn't be that way, but it's society, man. It's what we live in right now.
And let me go to is it Shaney 9468 and M3 Troll L8DY? Like I guess they're like, where's his shirt? I did the same thing. You got to keep it for the whole show and know why I took my shirt off because we talk about male body images and positivity. And what you're not gonna do is try to make me feel bad because I took my shirt off. That's what you're not gonna do. That's the problem. You're not doing that.
Okay, I see you.
So talk amongst yourselves in the chat and you want to discuss any other personal insecurities that you have that can impact any other broader issues like professional settings and personal relationships. Talk amongst yourselves. Discuss. All right, here's the next question. Daniel, I'm going to you. What are some healthy ways you found to build confidence in your body?
For me, it's to go into different settings that I normally wouldn't be gone to, right? Sometimes we get so connected to our initial hobbies where, if it's not me playing football, or if it's not me doing the things that I'm so used to doing, then we lose sight of the rest of the world. And there's so many other opportunities for us to display ourselves and our skills. For me, it's starting to go to more orchestras, right? Because I'm getting into the saxophone, so I want to go to more, band things. And sometimes we find that encouragement, right, when we have skills and we're able to display our skills in other avenues of our life. Sometimes we find that encouragement that we need, right? Because I think one thing that we lose sight of, right, when we feel like we don't have the body type or we feel like we don't have something that we need in one area of our life, when we're able to display our other skills and the things that we know that we're good at, and we receive, some praise for that, I think that boosts our morale, and I think that's what helps us in those other avenues of our life. So I really suggest, try new things, get into new arenas, right? Even if your friends don't think that is cool, you go try it out, right? Be okay with being alone sometimes. Be okay with, hey, I'm gonna go to this place, and then my homeboys say, nah, that ain't that. I don't want to go there. I'm able to go in there and be okay and be content with myself to say I'm going to have a good time. I think that's something that we have to break that feeling that we have to be surrounded 24/7. And if I don't have a group with me, going into this hobby, then I can't have fun. And so I think that plays a role, um, when we're starting a journey, right? Whether it be your health, um, your physique or whatever. Sometimes you just got to get started on your own. You might not have that pack to go with you to the gym. You might not have those group of people that want to start, eating a new diet, right? Some things you just got to say, hey, I'm in this for myself and to learn myself and to love myself. Let me get started, and hopefully I get some people along the way. So that's what I would offer up.
Just gonna jump in real
Okay.
quick and just say, um, I agree. My mom used to always tell us, "You was born by yourself, you're gonna die by yourself." So be okay with being alone. So with that being said, go travel, go see the world, go do stuff that you want to do. You don't have to always have somebody with you. I've learned to go travel on my own, go just take trips by myself, go see the world by myself, and honestly, it has been the best thing that ever happened to me. Um, I say no matter where you go, um, you can find somebody that has something in common with you that will actually hang out with you and just at the end of the day in a club we all fam. So just yeah, it's all right. Just be okay with being alone and just going to go try and see new things.
So again, so based off a researcher, noted author Stephen McCulley, he said that body positivity emphasizes self-acceptance and counters unrealistic standards, but men often struggle to embrace it due to societal pressures. So, and again, me also go back and apologize. I mean, not apologize. Yes, to the two young ladies. I wasn't yelling, but I wanted to make sure next time when we go live, be here on time. All right, so y'all can know the full context of what's happening. So I did see you all say I was late. I'm sorry. Appreciate it. So glad you're still here if you're still watching us. But here's my last question for you all here on the screen, brothers, or for those who are in the chat, who are watching us either on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, or in the replay. How do you feel about the ideas of body positivity for men?
Can you use that in
Mm.
a sentence? I'm sorry, can you can you say the
Listen,
question again?
how do you feel about the ideas of body positivity for men? And let me qualify that. Is this something you embrace or something you struggle with?
I love it, but again, I've seen the media try to be funny with it. They try to be funny. They try to throw a lot of shots. They like to throw a lot of underhand comments and all that about like big people or small or even skinny people. And it's like, just let people be who they is. Like y'all don't have to. Sometimes they overly do it. Like you got to put a whole team of big people together just to say, "Oh, look at this." Like no, like why can't they be on the same team as everybody else and we not worried about their size, but we ain't talking about their size or we overly judging them. Like for example, I hate to say it like this, and I know this is probably a whole different conversation, but it's also about the stuff that's acceptable for other people to wear. You got skinny people; they can wear a crop top and all that, and can get through. Like for example, our cap. Like when I was in Miles, the girls who were skinny, could wear a crop top and all that. But as soon as a big person wear a crop top or something like that, or they getting turned around and going sit to their dorm and go change because they can't wear stuff like that or stuff. So it's like it's crazy how people's perception to how they feel about other people is also influenced on how they make other people feel too. So it's just like, no, the body positivity sometimes people be doing it just be all over the place, and I just don't be like I be feeling like everybody be trying to be funny, and I'm like it ain't really a joke. People should be able to feel comfortable no matter how they shaped, but. You know,
Okay. All right. To Shane and Daniel again. How do you feel about the ideas of body positivity? Body positivity. And is this something that you embrace or do you struggle with?
Uh, for me, it could be both, and I'm gonna just throw a couple of positive shifts in there. Because expanding definition of masculinity, as we talked about, embracing vulnerability, emotion expression, and individuality. Also, we can talk about positivity as encouraging self acceptance, self love, health over aesthetics. All right, increasing presentation, more diverse male bodies and age, and the whole media traditional norms. Mental health, that's another thing that we have to normalize and encourage discussion around mental health and our body image. Also, we talked about this and the exclusive fashion, the brand catering to various body types. As Keith just said, you have somebody wearing crop top is fine. When you have a bigger person, nah, you need to go back. If we're gonna do the whole fashion thing, just make it more catering to various body types, promoting comfort and self-expression. So everybody can wear it at different size or if they choose to, So for me, I just think, you know, being being your true self, be your true self.
I love that. I love that. Daniel, I'm going to give the final word on this topic.
pause. Did he just change in the middle?
Yes, he did. The camera fit back around. I said,
All right, cool. We can play again. Sorry.
I I think the thing that we can leave off on is basically if you tell somebody that you want the best for them, the best way to want the best for someone is to learn how to get the best out of them.
Mm,
And to learn is to mean to have conversation, to have dialogue, to be attentive to their response, to respect their wishes, right? So there's so many things that we can do as people that have either that are currently going through a journey surrounding body image, who are on the other end of their journey of body image, to be able to learn and to help other people. And I think it just takes a village. When we talk about manhood, I think of an environment or a group of people, right? I think of a family. When I think of manhood, I don't think of just a term. I think of an environment. And so from that environment, it takes people leaning on each other, building with each other, helping each other, uplifting each other. And, also it does have accountability as well. So it's a mixture of everything that goes on in this environment of manhood. So I think that's the key to body positivity.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We had a great conversation today. We're not done. We're gonna give us some other final thoughts. But before we go, we want to know what's going on in your world. Again, for those who are watching us again online, wherever you are, if you want to drop something in the comments, if there's something you want us to share real quick, if something happened, your alumni chapter, your fraternity, your sorority, drop it in the chat right now. We can share with the rest of our viewing audience. You got to be quick on the draw, though. You got to be quicker than that, so we can be able to read it and share it. That's happening real quick. But before we do all that, before we wrap up, let's check back in with our guest for today and my co-hosts, Kevin, Shane, and Daniel, and find out what's happening in their world. So, all right, guys, anything new that you want to share to the Man Cave community? Shane, let's start with you first.
well, first, thanks for having me again. I'm still here. The hurricane ain't took me away, so thank God for that. But right now, I'm working on launching a clothing company and a hat company called Youthman Things. Keep it Caribbean. So that's one thing I'm working on right now, and of course, I'm getting ready to retire. So
And working on your PhD.
and I'll be graduating next year.
Come on. Come
My
on.
doctorate. So hey, let's go.
Oh, you weren't here last week. I told you about the fact I got, I'm not in PhD world, but I'm in grad school world. I
Yeah.
got A's on my last class.
Oh, hey.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Kevin, what about you, sir? What's going on in your
Um,
world?
I will say tomorrow again, Historical Black Sense will be in my hometown. I'm super excited. We're gonna be doing a lot of talking to the people in the city and just walking out. And I get to share my life and my story about who I am and what brought me into the life of politics, the life of HBCU grad and whatnot. So I'm excited about that. I look forward to that. And then later this week, I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina, interviewing some amazing people, some amazing presidents, some students. So just a little bit of everybody. So I'm excited about that. Election is in the next, I think, 8 days. So we excited about that. I have a book about to come out, another book coming out. And then the foundation will be launching tomorrow. I'm
Come
super
on.
excited. The Keys to Success Foundation will be officially live and started with our first project, where we will be doing a hygiene project, hygiene drive for real, where it's 4 different locations where they around the city of Detroit and the Metro Detroit area where they can drop off different personal items and hygiene products. And then on Thanksgiving Day, we will be going out and setting up shop in one of the most homeless populated areas in the city of Detroit. We will be passing out hygiene products and giving out food to the homeless and just really showing them that we do still indeed care. So I got a little lot going on, but it ain't nothing but a chicken wing.
Yeah, come on. All right, Daniel, what's happening in your world?
Yes, so as you know, I'm the owner and creator of Me Motivated and Empowered, and I have a book looking to launch on New Year's Day, and it's called Worthy for the Journey. Worthy for the Journey, and it's looking to help, especially new current alumni, college students that are in the midst of a transition. Right, I just relocated from my hometown of Raleigh, North Carolina, to now Orlando, Florida. So it's looking to kind of target people that are dealing with relocation or big change in their life, and what are some methods to help you through that time, and knowing that you are worthy through that journey that you're on. So that's the biggest thing I have, and I'm also looking to start my MBA program next fall. So
I love it. He said you are worthy of
Mm.
Yeah.
your journey. Come on, that'll preach. Come on, I need you to
So
go on
what you got going on?
yeah,
the
yeah.
Man, I was
Are you
Listen,
traveling anywhere soon?
you know what? That is a great listen. I was so upset I could not make it to my HBCU to my homecoming. But for those of you all who can still, they still got some plenty good room. Listen, let me tell you about HBCU hotels. Go figure, right? Got on the shirt today. If you're traveling to visit an HBCU, either an alum, as a prospective student, or a supporter, HBCU Hotels is the place where you can make your travels seamless, make your reservations real easy as possible. They got a customized booking options, exclusive deals, and accommodations tailored just for the HBCU community. It's your one-stop shop to keeping you close to campus and connected to the culture. Now, listen, check them out for all your travel needs so you can focus on what really matters. That's what's in your cup. That's what really matters. No, I'm just kidding. It's about making the connections and having a good time with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your classmates, all that. The whole HBCU experience without the hassle that you can secure your stay, show your pride, and let HBCUhotels.com take care of the rest. That's probably, that would have been my most recent travel had I had an opportunity to travel, right? But
You see
since
the alley hoop right there?
I saw it though. I love it. But of course, if you are looking for something to do in May of 2025, I encourage you to join me for the HBCU Alumni Takeover. Let's talk about something that's special. It's going to be really exciting. Again, first of all, it's my birthday party, right? So you all are invited. It's going to be my 55th birthday party. Where are we going? We're going to Dubai. Yeah, that's right. You heard it. We got HBCU alums worldwide coming together to celebrate the achievements, amplify the culture, and keep the HB spirit alive while we celebrate my birthday, right? So, whether you're joining us in person or you want to engage us online right now, I need you to make sure you go to hbcutakeover.net. hbcutakeover.net so you can find out all that is happening. It's where luxury meets legacy, or where legacy meets luxury. It's going to be an amazing time. So join the movement, connect with your alumni. I need you to be passport ready. Be passport ready, and let's show the world that the HBCU family is strong. Listen, we're gonna be doing. We got a cigar night. We got a spades night. We're doing a yacht party. We're going out in the sand dunes, and so you see them in the pictures with the
Polos
old
and
ladies.
stilettos.
Yes. Oh, you didn't pull it up.
What y'all gonna? I might have to.
Oh, it's a party.
Okay.
Remember, I'm gonna meet you. You're gonna meet me over there because I'll be over there already.
So come on over. Come on over. Listen, keep eyes out for other updates and get ready to be part of something that's going to be unforgettable. Yes, it's going to be a party. I'm telling you, we about to kick it hard. Yeah,
They got a space tournament.
Yes.
Wait. Space in Dubai is crazy. I'm on my way. Okay,
Listen.
let me go ahead and book.
And I'm gonna have the water bottle.
What you say?
And I'm gonna have that water bottle.
Oh, of course. And now, mind you, now here's the thing. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm just gonna throw it out there for anybody who wants to join. Now, I'm already doing a live show for the HBCU Alumni House Party show, which is my other show. But who's to say I can't do an HBCU Man Cave show while I'm there as well?
I mean, if we all there, we all fam. We might as well.
I'm just saying.
Let's get it.
All right, but anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Listen, Kevin Shaw and I would like to thank our very special guest today, Daniel Bryan from Motivated and Empowered, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Listen, Daniel, your insights on body image, confidence, and mental well-being has been powerful, and we appreciate your openness today. And tonight, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we tackled a topic that's not often discussed: men and body image. And we hoped we have helped break down some barriers. Body image can affect every part of a man's life, from mental health to relationships, and it's essential to approach these pressures with a healthy mindset. Now, for those who are looking to learn more or find out some other support, consider exploring resources like BetterHelp at betterhelp.com, where you can connect with licensed therapists for guidance on body image and mental health. Healthline also offers valuable articles on body image and its impact on men's well-being. And again, you can go to healthline.com. Wow. So a big thank you, as always, to Historically Black Sense for making this platform possible. And to learn more, again, you got to go hit us up. Check out all the links in our descriptions. You can find links in the bio, in the chat. And then for those who are watching and you want to stay updated on all things HBCU Man Cave, be sure to join our mailing list. Yes, we just dropped the newsletter this week. Some of our resources from previous shows. And if you want to connect with Daniel or Shane or Kevin or myself, you are more than welcome. Again, go to our bio, and the link right now to the newsletter is in the bio, in the description of this Instagram show or Facebook or YouTube, so you can join us. Again, fellas, anything else y'all want to say before we get up out of here? Nobody? Let's just say, green on his face.
Listen, I just want everybody to have a great week. You know what I'm saying? Put God first as always and have a great week, man. That's it.
No, that's
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, as always, I'm your boy, your uncle, your cousin, and your best friend, and you've been watching the HBCU Man Cave where men can relate, relax, and release. Listen, stay blessed, stay safe, stay focused, and we will see you next time here in the cave.